We are live.
We are live. So let's get this 203rd episode underway. This week on the Media Virus Podcast, Mommy was drinking her angry juice, and we were all out of milk for my Chalky Crunch, states 8-year-old joyrider who drove herself to Target. Teens run a train to a horrible ending in New York City. A boy shoots a bear to save his dad in Wisconsin, and a bear shoots a boy for being a cat in Colorado. It's the Media Virus Podcast. Let's point and laugh at the world burning around us with executive producer Mike Latoris. We're going to start over. BBC correspondent Stanley McFadden.
Makes me tingly in an unfamiliar way.
Grease Monkey Pete.
Damn, Big Daddy.
Here's the thing about the Media Virus Podcast. It's really well done.
And now, spreading the sage nihilism of an aged Gen Xer, your host and mine, the star of our show, the incomparable Maddie Rockdeath.
Well, hot damn, do we have a show for you people this week. I am Maddie Rockdeath. I am the maddiest of all rock deaths, and I am proof positive that anyone can have a podcast. Speaking of, welcome to the Media Virus Podcast. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share. I want to take a minute to thank all of the new subscribers for their support, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcast, TuneIn, or if you're just checking us out on themediavirus.com, thank you. And we are able to take calls on the air once again, so give us a call at 646-VIRUS-01. That is 646-VIRUS-01. You will make it on the show. That is just how we do here on the Media Virus Podcast. So, I've been spending a little bit more time, with the parents. And I'm having to help them with more, I guess what you'd call logistical stuff.
Right.
Operations of the home.
Yeah.
And the saga of my dad's cell phone has spanned decades, but I was dealing with a consumer cellular push button flip phone.
Wow.
Now, I don't know where the fuck they get off marketing exclusively to old people. Like, you've seen those commercials, right? Like, cell phone service is expensive and no one is calling you anyway because you're old. Right. Technology is scary. So use consumer cellular. Our phones are easier to use as long as you haven't encountered any technology since the Carter administration. As an added bonus, you can ask the tech-savvy experts in your life to help you and watch them lose their minds within minutes. It's a great way to keep your grandkids hostage a couple more minutes longer. And the problem is that they know that people, like old people, don't know any better.
Right.
And they're going to fall for that fucking gimmick of you're old and stupid. Give me your money.
Right.
And let me milk you off your I figured out a way to quietly milk you off your fixed income. Just be old and stupid. Like AARP insurance. Because my dad wants to switch insurance. He thinks he's paying too much for insurance, right?
Right.
You think they're easy to contact with an intuitive website?
Probably not.
Nope.
No.
Is there a phone number with a valid contact number on it?
I would imagine that would be the best way to get in touch with them with their market.
Well, can't find one on the bill.
Wow.
They have an app.
That's why do we need an app for everything? That's another rant altogether, but it's a great plan. Prey on the old until they die. And then, some of the middle-aged are now old. So there's a constant replacement crop. But, I think what I'm trying to say here is I wish that big corporations would stop trying to fleece old people like my parents because that's my job. And in order to get old, you got to limit the stupid shit that you do. And in this in this A block, we have kids doing some stupid shit.
Yeah, I mean, it really looks like they're trying to get it out of the way, right?
They're trying to get something out of the way. I tell you that much. You know.
Pintside Pilot's retail adventure. 8-year-old drives to Target. Good day, listeners. This is the Reverend and Professor Mike Latoris, bringing you the quirkiest news on TMVP, where the news is always a drive away. In today's top story, an 8-year-old Ohio girl took the wheel of her family's SUV and drove herself to Target. Yes, you heard that right, folks. This pint-sized pilot decided it was time for a solo shopping spree. Talk about a drive-thru experience. Authorities say the young driver navigated several miles of road before safely parking at the store. Thankfully, no one was hurt, and the girl was found unharmed. It seems she had a stirring desire for some retail therapy. Local police were driven to the scene and quickly ensured the girl was reunited with her family. This story certainly accelerated to the top of our news feed. Stay tuned to TMVP for more really interesting stories.
You could do that. You could do better. TMVP for more really interesting story.
All right. Well, I gotta back the prompter. Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No. Stay tuned to TMVP for more really interesting stories. This is Mike Latoris signing off. Remember, folks, always keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. Unless you're tuning in to TMVP, of course.
Did you hear about this?
I did not.
The 8-year-old, she just
For the streets.
it was like in the morning. She just got in her car and went to Target.
Sometimes you
Oh
just
wait,
got
I did hear about this.
Target.
It's pretty popular.
I feel like I sent it to you though.
You may have.
I didn't hear the story when you guys were reciting it. I found a golden garlic soup, and so I was watching that recipe. But she did really regular things at the Target, and we love that for her. She said, "You know what? Let's go do our day."
She did hit a mailbox.
It'd be like that sometimes.
An 8-year-old girl got behind the wheel of an automobile,
right?
That's a
drove
good
to
one.
Target, and the mailbox was barely hurt because that
Right.
old woman that was in front of it. But the mailbox took almost no damage at all.
That's not what happened. But so now that we're talking about this, I do remember that I did send you this, and the Toast did this story. And so we're impressed with her knowing how to get to Target. Something about like it was 25 miles away or something.
Wow.
25 minutes away. But like she knew how to get there. We love an explorer.
I love that they had reports. People reported
Yeah.
child driving an automobile, and nobody, like, they weren't able to.
A
Find her?
female that looked too young to be driving.
That's so funny.
And she was able to make it all the way to Target before anybody caught up with her.
Listen, sometimes you need to start your day. And if nobody else is ready, then you need to go.
You really feel this kid, don't you? You're like really, not in a weird way, but
It seems that
You gotta
way.
do what you gotta do.
that's the way it is.
I'm saying.
Sometimes it bees like that.
It
You know,
do be
speaking
like
of
that.
speaking of too young to drive, it's 2 teenagers fucking hijacked a New York subway train.
I hear
Hijacked.
it.
Well,
No, but they took it. Hijack would kind of indicate that there might have been somebody on it at the time. They just went and took one that was kind of parked.
Oh, like there was a caboose just
No, it's a subway car. I mean,
like the conductor left the train running. Like, I know
Well,
that's not how.
like literally picture it. I don't understand.
Like,
Let's-
don't they lock the cabin?
I guess not.
don't know.
Let's dig in. Subway shenanigans. Teens take train for a spin. Good evening, folks. This is the Reverend and Professor Mike Latoris bringing you the latest scoop from the underground world of New York City. Hold on to your hats because this story is off the rails. In a tale that could only happen in the Big Apple, two teens decided to take a subway train for a spin, literally. These young conductors in training hopped aboard an empty train at the Briarwood station in Queens just after midnight on September 12th. They must have thought they were on the fast track to fun, but their joyride hit a bump when they crashed into another parked train. Talk about a derailment of plans. The NYPD was quick to track down the runaway riders thanks to some crystal clear surveillance footage. One of the teens, a 17-year-old girl, was arrested and charged with criminal mischief and reckless endangerment. Her partner in crime, also 17, is still on the loose. Maybe he's hiding out in the subway tunnels, trying to lay low until the coast is clear. The MTA hasn't disclosed the extent of the damage, but we can only imagine it's a hefty fare. No injuries were reported, so at least this train wreck didn't go off the tracks completely. So next time you're waiting for a train, remember, leave the driving to the professionals. And tune in to TMVP News. This has been the Reverend and Professor Mike Latoris signing off from TMVP, where we keep you on track with the latest news.
My question is, like, where did they expect to go? Like, they hit another parked train. What were you trying to do?
Well, they were probably trying to go somewhere, but kids are
They were
dumb.
probably trying to go somewhere, you think?
Well,
But
kids
where?
are
Like,
kids are dumb. They don't think of things like to take the train from point A to point B. There's going to be something in your way, and you need to rely on the man that sits back at home base and throws the switches to switch the tracks.
I just feel like they were like, check their TikTok. They'll put it there. They'll put what they were doing on TikTok.
that is true. People are quite stupid and usually film themselves doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
So that's a good.
Everything's for the gram with the kids.
Oh yeah. Well, everything's with the gram for this podcast.
Yeah.
That's
Follow us on Instagram.
it. I mean, that's kind of pointless because we have completely inactive on Instagram.
Follow us on TikTok.
We're old. Follow us on Facebook. Come on, what the heck?
Come on. If you like this show, you're old too. Find us
That's
on
right.
Facebook.
That's right. Oh man. But that takes some balls.
Yeah. No,
You know what I mean? Dude,
I wouldn't know the first thing about operating a subway train.
that conversation happened. They're like, you don't know nothing about driving no train. And they're like, how hard could it be?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure once I got in
What
the
accent was that?
That was a urban accent.
Oh.
A lot of different types, colors, shapes of people speak in that manner.
Sure.
So it was
there was no racial connotation.
no. I was just putting on an accent the implication was that it wasn't me speaking.
It was a regional thing.
It was a regional dialect of New York.
Sure.
Oh, that's how they talk in New York?
They talk differently in different boroughs, just like people
Oh.
in New Jersey speak differently. Some people in Upper Jersey speak more like New England or New York. In the Middle Jersey, it's more like Philadelphia. Down south, it's more like Alabama. What y'all doing down there?
It's that standard redneck accent.
Not for nothing, dude. Don't wander off the Garden State Parkway or the Atlantic City Expressway too far if you don't know what you're doing.
No,
right?
if you're
you will
once
get molested by the cops. I guarantee it.
Oh, my.
once you get out in the tomato fields, it's a bitch.
Mhm. That Garden State is fertilized by bodies, I'll tell you that much. But speaking of balls, though, like having the balls, can you imagine? Like, first of all, being on a hunting trip at like 12 years old and
Right.
shooting a bear.
I mean, it's almost like you've peaked for life, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing: like you've established. Hang on.
Dominance for one.
There we go. Right. You've established that your aim sucks because this bear's still alive. Right.
My understanding is they also have a thick skin. They're a little rough to shoot.
I'm just saying,
Okay.
between the eyes or in the heart,
Yeah, there's some ways to do it.
If he'd have had a decent aim, his dad might have not been mauled by a bear.
Yeah, but they barely escaped. It's a grisly tale of survival.
That's right.
Good evening, listeners. This is the Reverend and Professor Mike Latorre bringing you the latest and furriest news from the wild woods of Wisconsin. In a story that's truly the bare necessities of survival, a 12-year-old boy named Owen Bierman has proven that he's not just a cub in the woods.
I think he can call himself Bearman now.
Probably.
Owen
became a hero when he became a hero when he shot and killed a wounded black bear that was mauling his father. Ryan Bierman, near their hunting cabin in Siren, Wisconsin. It all started when the father-son duo spotted the bear from their tree stand. Owen took a shot, wounding the bear, which then decided to play hide and seek.
You just pissed him off.
Right?
He knows these woods better than you do.
After a 20-minute wait, they tracked the bear with a neighbor's dog. But this wasn't your average game of fetch. The bear charged at Ryan from just 6 feet away. Ryan tried to bear arms, firing 8 shots with his pistol, but missed every time.
They both suck.
Right.
The aim on both of these, dude, they charged him from 6 feet away.
Yeah.
And with a pistol, could not hit a bear.
In theory, if you stretched your arms out and the bear stretched his arms out, you could touch fingertips.
Right? It improves your aim a hell of a lot. I'll tell you that much. Right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The bear, clearly not a fan of Ryan's aim, pinned him down. Ryan described the encounter as feeling like he was striking a brick wall while pistol whipping the bear.
Oh, goodness.
Talk about a very tough situation. Just when things looked grisly, Owen stepped up to the plate, and after a brief moment of considering the thought of having a new dad, with a flash from his rifle, he managed to shoot the bear, saving his father's life. Ryan...
There are some kids who might think about it for an extended... Like, you know what? That son of a bitch. I don't really like him so much.
Right?
Maybe this bear's doing me a favor. But no, he decided after a while.
He's a stand-up kid.
You know what? Let him maul him so he can't beat me no more. And then...
Ryan, the dad, who suffered bites and needed stitches, called his son a hero and said he is taking him to the whorehouse to get him laid. And we couldn't agree more. Owen's quick thinking and bravery were positively life-saving. And this is one reporter that's hoping they give a discount on parties of 3 or more. So next time you're out in the woods, remember, always bear in mind the importance of a good aim and a brave heart. Stay tuned for more wild tales, and remember, you heard it here, if not first, eventually on TMVP.
You heard it here, if not first, eventually. I think that's a good tagline.
Yeah, I like it.
We might not be first, but we told you at some point. So have you ever been hunting, Mike?
No, I've not been hunting. I've been out to pop off shots at different things, target practice and the like.
I like shooting shit. I like shooting shit a whole lot, but I ain't never been hunting.
That's very un-Delaware of you to have never been hunting.
Yeah, I guess hunting is a popular pastime.
It is. There's a lot of folks down here that hunt. I've never been, but I know lots and lots of people who do. I understand quite a bit about it. It's not And you can pretty much write the outline and follow along. It's not a tough day in the woods.
But
if it moves, shoot at it.
Yeah, I've only been hunting squirrels, and I've never even thought, and that was in a cemetery with a homemade bow and arrow, and I was 10.
Squirrels are tough, man.
Squirrels will not die if you hit them lightly with a stick.
No, they will not.
They will. I learned that. I learned that.
I actually sat in the garage in the house I grew up with and hunted a squirrel one night. So technically I have been squirrel hunting.
Well, if you're going to count that type of stuff, I've been rat hunting, I've been mouse hunting. But I ain't never hunted nothing, and I don't intend on hunting anything that has a distinct advantage against me. Like maybe
Right.
deer, don't forget, a deer will kick your ass.
Yep.
They will fight you. But
I want to know that I've leveled the playing field with a shotgun.
Right. That a rifle makes us even, at least. You know.
Right.
But when you walk into now in this picture, I have a grizzly bear. This was a black bear. And black bears are supposed to be a little bit more docile, from what I understand. Any encounter I've ever had with a bear has been with a black bear. I've never encountered a brown grizzly. And I hope to never encounter one.
Some black bears are brown. And that's what makes it very confusing.
That is difficult.
I think that the brown bear is the middle of the road sized bear. Like they're bigger than black bears. And
yeah,
then
grizzly bears are bigger than black bears, but then the biggest bear is actually the fucking polar.
Right, they're really
polar
big.
Bear is the biggest. And there was an albino grizzly.
I heard, and they kept dropping him off.
Conservationists kept dropping it off in Antarctica, and all the polar bears would bully the shit out of him. And he fucking
like, how do they not know? Like, does he not have like identification?
Most people who consider themselves and go into these fields have no fucking clue of anything.
But there were photos of him. He doesn't even look like a polar bear.
Right. He's like blonde.
Yeah.
But
like there's no mistaking him for a polar. He doesn't look like a polar bear.
This kid in Colorado didn't look like any kind of bear, and he got shot.
It happens. It's a homecoming horror, a shot in the dark. Good evening, listeners. This is
hang on, wait. We're gonna start that motherfucker over, man. Because I forgot. I don't know. It's not important. Go ahead.
Oh.
But still, that's the thing. It changes, so I know where it is.
It's a homecoming horror, a shot in the dark. Good evening, listeners. This is the Reverend and Professor Mike Latoris bringing you a story that's sure to make you shudder. In a shocking turn of events, a Colorado teen's quest for the perfect homecoming photo spot turned into a picture-perfect nightmare. The young lad who had never heard of a phone, the internet, the postal service, property rights, or gun rights was hoping to capture some frame-worthy memories, ended up with a shot he never expected, but deserved for being where he didn't belong, right in the face. Brent Metz, a town council member, decided to snap into action when he saw teens trespassing on his gated property. Unfortunately, his response was a bit too flashy for the soft young man. Metz allegedly fired his gun, claiming it was an accident, because if it was on purpose, that's attempted murder. But the teens were left with more than just a negative experience. The victim, who was simply trying to focus on his homecoming plans, is now recovering in the hospital. And he ain't getting no pussy there. Metz, on the other hand, is facing charges that could develop into a dark room of legal troubles and all the sex he can handle.
What?
Excuse me. Remember, folks, always ask for permission before you zoom into someone's property. You never know when a simple photo op could turn into a shocking headline, and the difference between attempted murder and assault with a deadly is where it hits the body. Stay tuned to TMVP for more updates on this exposure of small-town drama, and remember, keep your lens on the bright side of life.
Oh my.
That's pretty good. I may have, interwoven some of my own personal opinions into that particular
Yeah, that's pretty obvious there.
news read, but like, you can write somebody a letter. You can write to the resident. You can write somebody a letter. It doesn't take very long.
Yeah.
You can
Dear
do
Dear
research
Mr.
on.
Metz,
Yeah.
I really like your yard. Do you think I could take some pictures there before my homecoming? Please check yes or no.
Right.
Something.
It's that easy. Hey man, I don't make they don't write notes in school anymore.
Yeah, so they might not know about the check boxes.
The check yes or no is. We should develop an app where you can check yes or no in a text message. But you can go online and type in an address, find out a little bit about the address, and if you do some digging, you can find out who owns the home.
Yep.
And you can pick up the phone and you can call them.
You could do that if they have
You know
a
what I
list
mean?
number.
Right. But for you as two young men to go hop a gate, wander around a dude's yard, take pictures in a dude's yard,
Yep.
and then sit in your car writing that dude a note. He doesn't know you're writing him a note.
No.
He doesn't know you were in his yard because you like his yard. Well, he knows that, but he doesn't know that you're not casing his house.
Mm.
Sure.
You're not looking to steal his cars. You're not looking to fuck his dog. Like he's worried about all of these different aspects of why strangers are in his yard. And if he did shoot on purpose, and by the way, that copy, I think that copy said if it was an on purpose.
Right.
You didn't write the and. You didn't read the and. You just said if it was on purpose.
Oh, terribly sorry. I do occasionally correct for grammar on the fly.
No, I know, but I think it's funnier when people say if it was on. I know it was an accident because if it was an on purpose, I'd be kicking your ass right now. Something like that.
Oh, gotcha.
That was the joke, but it's fine. It's over now. I'm not gonna.
Sure.
Well, we don't. We communicate about a lot of other aspects of what's going on.
Like what's next?
Like what is next? What's next is we're going to be shutting down this. We're going to bring this little live stream to a close.
Ciao. Yeah,
we've gone through. Pete not being here has kind of streamlined the process. I haven't had to stop and play a song. We haven't had to, I haven't had to mute him. We haven't had to deal with like technical issues.
Mm-hmm.
So, we crammed, a half an hour into 28 and a half minutes.
Okay, bye.
Well, before we do that, I'd like to say get ready for B Block, a B Block that's sure to be arresting. We've got stories that will have you questioning the long arm of the law. From guidelines gone rogue to a deputy's deadly mistake, and even a Secret Service slip-up that's a real shot in the dark. Plus, a Star Wars-loving soldier's son faces a passport problem that's out of this world. Then in the C Block, strap in for a wild ride with Dick Myaz and Mike Hawk as they dive deep into the mysterious murders of Thay Stranger. With a toxicology report revealing a cocktail of drugs and a missing butthole, our detectives are on the case. Join them as they navigate through hilarious innuendos, unexpected twists, and a whole lot of puns. They will crack the case or just crack up. Tune in to find out. Don't miss out. Dial 1-646-VIRUS01 or email us at media.virus.whole@gmail.com to share your thoughts. It's a lineup you won't want to miss on the 203rd episode of the Media Virus Podcast.
I like that outro. I do.
Very short, very concise, very demure.
Very under 30 minutes.